What is up, guys? Pittsburgh White Schwartz back again. Brian here with another Konosuba deck tech coming at you. This time with something a little more out there. I'm here with Brandon, and Carmen and Andy are in the room with me. So today, I guess I should say the name of the deck. We're going to talk about Mono Yellow Darkness Vonir Shenanigans deck.
Is that the full name?
Title subject to change, obviously. So I'm going to start off a little bit differently. I'm going to start with an overview of my two main combo pieces in this deck. We run this level 1 Vonir. He is a cost bomb when he's reversed if the character across from him is level 0, or cost 0, excuse me. You can send it to their stock and send the bottom card of their stock to the waiting room. Now that's a fun effect. But the second effect on this card is what really matters. When he is sent to the waiting room from the stage, you are able to pay 3 stock, discard a Climax from your hand, and put this card, this Darkness here, as rested from your hand onto the stage position that he was on. This Darkness is obviously a level 3, has the ability to when damage you take on your turn is not cancelled, you can look at the top card and discard it, digging yourself closer to a Climax. You can pay 1 to stand and swap around during your opponent's turn. And she changes into a different card that helps you get damage through, but we will get to that later. The most important thing to stress is most of my card choices in this deck are centered around enabling this combo as well as I possibly can. So starting with my level 0s, we run 4 of Swimsuit Darkness, a fairly strong beater. If you have 2 or less stock, she sits at 4K. Additionally, to enable her, we run 3 of this Megamine Brainstorm. She is a Rest 2 Salvage Brainstorm that gives level 0 characters in front of her 1000 power, allowing this Darkness to sit and wall at level 0.
At like 5K, right?
At 5K, yes. Unfortunately, she doesn't get a level, so she is prone to getting bombed, but that's beside the point.
It's so big.
Okay,
it is so big.
She's very thick.
I got big numbers are good.
Speaking of big numbers.
Speaking of big numbers, yeah.
I hate that card.
We have this
so fun.
this Darkness. She's a runner, but she runs to battle. She runs across from a character on your enemy's stage. Additionally, during the opponent's turn, she gets 4,000 power for each level the character across from her has. So if she's across from a level 1, she sits at 6K, a level 2, she's at 10K, and a level 3, she's at 14K.
So big.
Something to note is that the Darkness deck is also good at playing around with the level of all the characters on the board. I run this Darkness. This level 0 Darkness gives Global 500 to all of your characters. Additionally, can rest to give any character on either player's stage +1 level. So you're able to either give her a level to make it harder for your opponent to side past her when she's enormously huge, or you can give your opponent's character a level to make her even larger. Also on the topic of this Megamine Brainstorm, I run a 3-2 split here. I run 2 Troublemaker Aqua, gives the middle character on your stage Hand Encore, and is a Rest 1 Brainstorm on a hit. Play a cost 0 or lower character from your waiting room onto the stage, allowing you to get this Vonir Bomb that I talked about a second ago out even earlier. Lastly, at level 0, I run 3 copies of this Darkness. She has a Married Life-esque effect. When you play a Climax, you can give one of your characters 1,000 power till the end of the turn, but we're mainly running her for her second effect, which is in on-demand, repeatable Act Ricky, which allows you to search your deck for adventurer characters. Note that the Vonirs are not adventurer characters, they are magic trait only. So that's only a Darkness character in this particular deck.
Still really good to have repeatable Ricky.
Yeah, extremely useful for trying to set up your combo, because this deck is prone to miss the combo a little bit. All of the card choices at level 0 here are to make finding and setting up the combo as easy as possible. So back to level 1, I run 4 of this Vonir Bomb. Since he is my main combo piece in this deck, you want to find him as early as possible, along with a Climax to discard for his effect, and the darkness to pull out from your hand. To help with that, we have this darkness level 1 combo. She's a pretty basic Shimakaze. Combos with this wind here. Searches your deck for a character on reverse, swings for 7,000. Allows you to search your deck for any character, I believe. Adventurer or magic character, so any character in this deck's context, yeah.
Are there any characters in Konosuba that aren't adventure or magic trait?
Yes. Crap, what was its name?
Oh, the goddesses, right?
Yeah, like Eris.
Eris
Just goddess.
Eris is just goddess trait.
Okay, yeah.
I remember because I kept running into the issue when I was doing.
Alright, so at level 2, I run 2 of this darkness. She is a back row assist card that gives level 3 characters in front of her 2,000 power. And she has a secondary effect that allows you to give any character on either player's stage +1 level until the end of turn when you play a character from your hand. I run 2 of this darkness. She's an early play hate bomb. She stock swaps when she's reversed and the opponent's character is a higher level than their current level. She also runs to battle. Something to note here is she interacts well with the other darkness cards because even if your opponent is level 3 and they have level 3s on board, you can use this darkness or this darkness to pump your opponent's character up to level 4 and then proceed to bomb it. Lastly, at level 2, I run 1 copy of this. It's just a basic 3k backup. I don't even know if it does anything else. No, it's a basic 3,500 power backup. It helps your early play darkness live from hand if you're in a tight spot and your opponent is hitting over it somehow.
Yeah, because that thing goes to 14 on its own, right?
It does some interesting stuff. I'll talk about that here in a second. So back to this darkness. The level 3 darkness, the main combo piece of the deck. Like I said, she has on damage scry. When you don't eat damage on your opponent's turn, you can look at the top card, keep it there, or send it to waiting room. You can pay 1 and stand and swap. You can pay 1 and swap her with any one of your characters on your stage before your opponent begins their attacks, which is extremely useful for dodging out of the way of, say, your opponent's early play hate bombs, or just anything stronger than her. Also worth noting that she can stand and swap to the back row to escape impending death as well. Last but not least, she has a change effect. She changes at the start of your Climax step into this Vanir here. He is a Musashi, which, if you don't know, means for the first time on the turn he's played, when his attack damage is canceled, you discard the top card of your deck and burn your opponent for damage equal to that card's level +1. Last at level 3, I run 4 copies of this darkness. It early plays if your opponent has a level 3 on the board. It has damage reflect for pay 2 stock, discard a card from your hand. That is, if you eat damage on your opponent's turn during her combat, you can pay the cost and your opponent eats the same amount of damage as you ate. Her final effect is, at the start of your opponent's draw phase, you can choose one of your characters on the board and give it 4,000 power. So the other thing I forgot to mention about this Vanir is at the start of your opponent's draw step as well, he changes back into this darkness. So during your turn, you have this darkness, or during your turn you have the Musashi that deals bonus damage, and then at the start of your opponent's turn, it changes back into the darkness that can stand and swap around, keep itself alive until the next turn when it can change back and proceed to damage your opponent some more. I showed the Climax a little bit earlier. I run the 4 wind that combo with the level 1 darkness here. And for consistency's sake, I run an additional 4 wind triggers empty in this deck. Now this is completely optional. I was playing around with Stock Soul recently as well. Stock Soul works fine.
That's the Vanir Stock Soul,
That is
right?
the level 0 Vanir combo Stock Soul, yeah.
Now you have some like red and blue in there at level 0 stuff. Would you consider running like empty gates or empty, like some empty trigger in another color?
Empty gate, maybe. Something I have considered is, since I have a couple blue cards sitting in here, I think splashing for Seizure or Fumio could be a reasonable inclusion into this deck. For stock swapping your opponent or helping to finish the game, especially with the easy ability to change into the Musashi here. Yeah, one of the strongest combos with this deck is when you have these two cards out together. At the start of your opponent's turn, you can give a character 4K. Say this card, for example, puts it up to 14, 16 with the level assist behind it, if you are so fortunate. Then, at the start of your opponent's attacks, you can proceed to stand and swap the 16K darkness in front of whatever your opponent's trying to do. You can deny reverses. Carmen has a lot of experience playing against this.
Yeah, I hate playing against this, like, giant wall that, like, will move around. You can't pin it down. You, like, can't bomb it with anti-early play bombs.
The giant movie.
To deal with it, if they can get the stuff out early, you really have to play an anti-change backup, which is, like, about the only way you can.
And even then, against some sets, it's not even that great, because if this card is sitting in the middle position, that it has Hand Encore.
Hand Encore from Troublemaker, yeah. And Troublemaker just helps you, like, ramp out, like, even faster.
Yes.
Since, like, you're like, walling up at 0 with the salvage one, but then, you know, if you're, like, you have a lot of tap downs and stuff like that, which is, like, my main, like, thing I was going to ask you about the list, and since your main plussing Brainstorm is Rest 2, you, like, have a lot of Rest 1 effects in the deck, so it can get a little bit of, a little bit rough to, like, get Brainstorms off on your turn.
It is a little bit clunky. Most of the Rest 1 effects are solely for setting up the combo, though. Mm-hmm. So once you get your combo pieces, you're looking for mainly this card, plus a Climax, plus the bomb, plus the stock to pay the 3 once he dies. Then you're pretty much set for the rest of the game, assuming your darkness.
Because then you stand and swap around. You know.
Yeah, assuming your darkness doesn't meet an unfortunate end to, like, a bottom deck anti-change backup or something. But yeah, the absolute sackiest thing you can do with this deck, I guess, would be to Troublemaker out the Vonnier Bomb, have it die at level 0, drop this from hand at level 0, and then you have a level 3 that can stand and swap and scry away damage and change into a Musashi at level 0.
Which Brian has done.
I have done, yeah.
Yeah. It's possible.
That's pretty dumb.
But yeah, it's like a really crazy, like, high roll mechanic, and like nobody really messes with yellow.
Yeah,
in Konosuba at all.
I mean, it's extremely high roll. In order to get this combo to go off successfully, you do have to ditch like half your hand. But I mean, it's definitely fun. This is one of my favorite decks to play. It feels
really trolly.
It's extremely trolly. Yeah, it feels so good when you're. Yeah, it feels good when your opponent is complaining about
eating Musashi burns at level 1.
Level 1, level 0, and this card just being essentially unkillable, especially with power buff from this.
Yeah, you really have to anti-change backup it and like hard remove it as long as the Troublemaker's on board. Like, this card is like really nasty in the list. You look at it and you're like, oh, like kind of whatever, but like no, like this is like.
Yeah, no,
insult to injury.
The Hand Encore is, especially useful, especially for keeping this card alive in so many sets like Konosuba or just sets that only have access to waiting room.
Like Gurren and Bang Dream, stuff like that.
Backup, yeah.
Because it's the backup. Because like bombs, you just run away.
Right.
You can run away with stand and swap, so you're never going to pin them down with a bomb as long as they have a back row character. Mm-hmm. So.
And another thing to note is this card can almost always be played at level 2. You have the other darknesses, the level 2 backup, the level 2 back row, the level 0 level pump. You can pump your opponent's characters up to level 3 to activate this card's early play condition.
Yeah, the level manipulation stuff is really nasty. Like, being able to just clear your opponent's walls with an anti-change bomb by, like, resting something is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I could make space for even another one of the bombs, I think it might be worth it with how easy access darkness has to the level manipulation mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
But this list is, I feel like it's pretty tight. I cut a lot of zeros. I was running initially a lot heavier on zeros to consistently build up the stock for this combo.
But yeah, I know at one point you were running the Vonnier level 0.
I was running the Stock-Soul combo, but that effectively requires you to discard a card to build stock. The Stock-Soul combo is put a character from your hand into your stock.
So
it, considering how much hand you have to sacrifice already to get this combo to go off, I didn't like it as much as just an empty Climax.
I mean, you get it pretty consistently at level 1 at least.
Yeah.
Which is like saying something for something that should be, you know.
Yeah, honestly, the hardest part for getting the combo to go off is just, you just have to draw into a climax. And sometimes you just don't.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, there's no easy way for you to get it. Well, maybe you could run Blue Gate, run some pants. Maybe that's how you do it.
Empty Blue Gate could...
Yeah,
If you're
because...
trying to run the Stock Soul, or the Fumio and the Seizure combo,
That's an
would help
interesting. That's an
enable it.
interesting idea.
And that Aqua, it was with the same... It's a pants on the same...
Oh, the
Fumio has the combo that summons from Clock.
What is it? Resurrection with the Fumio.
Resurrection, yeah. So...
That's
a nice little bit of incidental
That's some
synergy.
spice.
that's
That's
interesting.
spicy.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so...
But this is the current build of Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz's Darkness shell. Here.
Black and gold.
Black and gold.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. But yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you guys have to say about the deck?
No, it's just, you know, this deck looks like a funny meme until you get your shit pushed in by Musashis. Like, Musashis over and over and over again. Like, someone plays a Musashi down and they're like, oh, well, like, this turn, this is gonna suck. And then, you know, it's gone.
Try Musashi every turn.
Yeah, because the Musashi effect will go off because it happens on change, too.
Right, yeah,
so it just never stops.
Yeah, changes into the Vonir during your turn, then changes back, and then re-changes during your turn again to reactivate the effect.
Yeah, so it'll just Musashi every single turn. And this card is so hard to clear with the Troublemaker and everything. But yeah, it's, that's all I got.
I think that's it. Yeah, anybody else?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, well, thank you everyone for watching. Once again, this was Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz, Darkness Deck Tech. We are definitely working on getting more content. We've got more content in the pipeline. More deck techs coming out, more set pre-reviews, especially with all the new sets coming to English within the next couple of months. We just got the new Bunko set announced. We got JoJo coming now. We have English exclusive sets being announced at Worlds. So we've got a lot of content coming your way in the near future.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.